It was very early in the morning, a time when the world holds its breath, waiting for the day. In the ancient city of Jerusalem, the streets were still and quiet. The air itself felt heavy, carrying the weight of what had just passed. The usual sounds of a waking city were absent. No cheerful chatter, no clatter of merchants' carts on the cobblestones. There was only a hush, a silence that spoke of a collective sorrow and an unspoken fear. The light, when it began to creep over the horizon, was soft and hesitant, as if unsure of what it would reveal. The days before had been filled with turmoil, culminating in a public, brutal finality. A man named Jesus, who had spoken of love and a different kind of kingdom, had died on a hill just outside the city walls. He had been nailed to a cross, a common and cruel punishment. Many watched the slow, agonizing end. Some wept, some were afraid. His closest friends felt utterly lost. They had placed all their hope in him, and now that hope was buried in a borrowed tomb. This was the darkest of moments. Even the sky had seemed to grow dark during his final hours. Afterward, his friends hid in shuttered rooms, their voices reduced to whispers. They thought their hopes were gone, extinguished like a candle in a sudden gust. They thought their teacher, their guide, their friend was gone forever. The path ahead was dark and uncertain. They could not see any way forward. But in the midst of grief, a quiet resolve took hold. A small group of women would not stay hidden. Their love for Jesus was stronger than fear. They gathered spices and fragrant oils to perform final rites of respect and tenderness. The women rose before the sun had even thought of gracing the sky. They moved through the sleeping city, figures like shadows in the pre-dawn gloom. They walked toward a garden just outside the gates, a place of peace turned place of sorrow. The cool, damp stones were silent under their feet. The birds had not yet begun their song. It was a time of transition, darkness yielding to the first suggestion of dawn. The air was still and cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and a distant promise of a new day. They shared grief and anxieties, their hearts burdened and with a practical concern. Who would roll away the stone? It was far too large for them to move. Despite their fears, duty propelled them forward, a private, heartfelt expression of love. Even in death, he was not forgotten. In the silence of the tomb, he was still cherished. They were not warriors or renowned disciples, simply women, armed with spices and an undefeatable love. Deep purple softened, then blushed with pale pink and gold. The first rays touched the high walls, making ancient stones glow warm. They neared the tomb, steps slowing, hands tightened around jars. Their faces, lined with sorrow, now held apprehension and unwavering love. They prepared for the difficult sight they expected to find, a sealed tomb. The world seemed to be waking up around them, but they felt trapped in the stillness of their own grief. There, in the soft morning light, was the tomb, but the great, heavy stone was not in its place. It had been rolled away, resting at a distance, as if tossed aside by a strength beyond human. The women stood, breath caught in their throats. They looked into the dark, gaping opening, then back at the stone. Roman guards had been stationed there. Yet the guards were gone, and the tomb was open. Their first thought was violation. Had someone come in the night? Had grave robbers desecrated the place and stolen the body of their Lord? As they drew closer, fear mixed with wonder. From within, a faint light. It was not a torch or a lamp, but a soft, gentle luminescence. The air around the tomb felt different. Sorrow dissipated, replaced by a powerful serenity. The nearby trees suddenly rang with birdsong, as if creation itself responded. They took a hesitant step, fear warring with an irresistible pull. The spices and oils suddenly felt irrelevant, relics of a reality dissolving. As their eyes adjusted, they saw it was not empty in the way they feared. There was a figure there, or perhaps two, in robes that shimmered like snow in bright sun. They sat where the body of Jesus should have been, terrifying and beautiful at once. The women fell back, shielding their eyes. Their hearts pounded. This was not the work of thieves. This was something else entirely, the work of God. One of the angelic figures spoke. Not thunder, but a calm, reassuring voice that cut through fear. "Do not be afraid. I know you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified." Their grief, their love, acknowledged. They were seen and understood. Terror and awe, yet they listened to the voice of gentle authority. Then came the words that would echo through the ages, the sentence that would change history. "He is not here. He has risen," just as he said. The message was utterly clear. Jesus of Nazareth, the one they saw die, the one they came to anoint, was alive. The finality of the cross was not final. Death had been undone. Their deep sorrow began to crack, replaced by a dawning, explosive joy. The world had been remade in an instant. They were the first witnesses. The angel gave them a command, a mission that would propel them into the world. "Go quickly and tell his disciples, he has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. Now I have told you." The message was not meant to be secret, news to be shouted from the rooftops. Private grief transformed into public proclamation. Hesitant steps turned into a joyful race. Without a second thought, the women turned and ran. Their jars of spices were forgotten, left near the tomb. Their somber walk became a sprint, fueled by lingering fear and ecstatic joy. They had to tell the others, to share what they had seen and heard. They burst into the locked room where the disciples hid.
"He is alive, the tomb is empty, an angel spoke to us. He has risen."
Their news met confusion and doubt, an idle tale perhaps, but the women were insistent. Unwavering testimony pierced the despair. Two of them, Peter and another, perhaps John, were compelled to act. They ran, feet pounding Jerusalem's stones, a race against doubt toward a glimmer of hope. Through the gate and into the garden, needing to know if it could be true. They arrived. The great stone rolled away. The entrance stood open. John peered inside. Peter went straight in. They saw the linen cloths and the headcloth folded separately. Strange, orderly, peaceful, deliberate. This was not a grave robbery. It spoke of a quiet victory, a new kind of life beginning in the stillness of the tomb. They stood in awe, the morning brightening into understanding. History was about to change forever. So why does this account of an empty tomb on a Sunday morning, over 2,000 years ago, still hold such power? Why do people still tell it, sing about it, and build their lives upon it? The answer is both simple and incredibly deep. The resurrection of Jesus became the ultimate sign of hope. Life stronger than death, love more powerful than hate, light overcoming the deepest darkness. It transformed the cross, an instrument of shame, into a promise of new life. For countless people, the empty tomb is the cornerstone of hope. It suggests that the end of our physical life is not the final word. It asks us to believe in a life that transcends what we can see and measure. This belief does not erase pain, but gives resilient courage to face loss. People find peace in a relationship with God that death cannot sever. It speaks of victory over the brokenness we see in the world and feel within. A new start is always possible. Forgiveness can triumph over guilt. Transformation can begin after our darkest night. Patterns that trap us can be overcome. People can change and grow. A frightened few became a bold, vibrant community that changed the world. They told the story, prayed, sang, and shared meals in memory of him. Most of all, they lived his teachings: love, service, compassion. The story of that morning is not just a fact to believe, but a reality to be lived, reshaping how we are human with each other and with God. To understand the heart of this story, consider the symbols that carry its meaning. The sunrise. Morning light spreads, then washes over the land. Light over darkness. After crucifixion's darkness and tomb's silence, a new light dawned for humanity. It fills the world with gentle warmth, promising no night will last forever. Think of the cross, once an instrument of shame, now a sign of sacrifice and love. Its vertical beam reaches toward heaven, its horizontal reaches the world, love bridging the gap. Cross and empty tomb. One speaks of the depth of pain, the other of the height of victory. Consider an open Bible, pages turned to the Gospels, simple words read by billions. Women in a garden, a stone rolled away, angelic messengers, a risen Lord. A symbol of memory and testimony, kept alive and passed down through generations. An invitation to read, wonder, question, believe. Finally, light itself. From within the tomb, the morning sun and the light that dawned in their hearts. Light represents truth, life, the presence of God. It dispels fear, reveals what was hidden, and guides the way forward. The message of Easter: this light has come into the world, and darkness cannot overcome it. Candles in churches and services at sunrise welcome that original light, the light that promised a new beginning for all. A symbolic act, remembering what really happened on Easter morning. The story is not just about a singular event long ago. It continues to unfold. A living hope that moves through time, from the depths of fear to the heights of joy, from the paralysis of sadness to the energy of purposeful action. It encourages us to look beyond what consumes us and see with new eyes. A story inviting participation, to let its hope reshape how we see the world and our place within it. Many find deep peace reflecting on this story, a new day dawning in the soul. The fear of failure, judgment, even death itself begins to lose its power. In its place, reasons to act with kindness, to serve without reward, to speak truth with love. A peace not passive, but active and creative. Honest questions remain, some doubt history, some logic. The story welcomes the search for truth. Faith tested by hard questions can be strong and resilient. So, as the sun rises, not just over Jerusalem, but over our own lives, it brings a quiet question. The cross bears sorrow and hope. The empty tomb reminds us darkness does not get the final say. Small acts of care and love keep the spirit of this story alive. Not a complex puzzle, but a simple personal invitation. Will we live with hope, be brave in small ways, orient our lives toward love and truth? The question is simple. The answer can change everything. What does Easter mean to you? The empty tomb reminds believers that darkness never has the final word. Pages open to the Gospels, simple, enduring words, a cross transformed by love. Light that began in a garden now spreads across the world. Quiet awe, rising hope. What does Easter mean to you?